Oh, goodness. Please hold. I wasn't actually ready. Ah. Okay. Let's try this again. Hello. My hair is having a nightmare. Um, hello, hello. It is Talos o'clock. Hooray. Um, I guess we're gonna fun it because nothing's behaving. Um, as I mentioned, we're gonna be doing Talos Tuesdays now. Um, so instead of voting for break games, we're just gonna be voting for Monday, Friday game. Because, I personally need more variety in what I'm playing in the week. So that's what's gonna happen. Bun Time Jones. The cats are very loud today, so just be on the lookout for meowy, 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 meowy ness. Um, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. um, I think what I would like. I wonder how I lower the output into my actual ear. Let's not play Talos. Let's fiddle with OBS. Part 80. Go! Go! Um, hmm. Let's do it. Let's actually play Talos. We don't need both, Abby and Face. So, we'll go ahead and Face. I went through all this trouble of, like, figuring out what hair looks best, right? Like, I have to be kind to myself somehow. Uh, Hi, Lime. Thanks. Oh, Lime's like, I fucking hate change. I understand, Lime. Oh, ew! What is that? I hate it too! God, no. Hold on, hold on. Y'all, we're gonna go into monitor mode here. We're gonna figure out what font this is and say no. You too can fuck around with this shit. So if you're ever like, man, that font's awful, right click, go into inspector. And then, oh, right, I have to do this. And then you're gonna do this. Click on thatty, right? Now you've got this. So it's got all of these different things here, but what you could actually do is just click on styles. And we're able to go down to ooh, class Cortex SC1TXCJUL. Okay. So we can also just excuse me. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh, they have that hidden. That's cute. Okay, where are your variables then? That doesn't matter. So you can also do this. Font family. So this is all being overridden. Depending on how spicy they are, you can actually click in here. I don't know, Arial. Ta-da! Important will override just about fucking anything. So now it's Arial. And you can do this with just about anything. So HTML, body, div spam, blah, blah, blah. This includes H1, but it's less specific. So the big thing is you want to be less specific. You want, if you're going to use important, you want the most specific tag. So here, since I'm going to change my general text just as an example, oh, right. Oops. Font family. Ta-da! All of my general text is now Lato, my general label text. So this doesn't go to anyone else's screen. You would have to do this yourself. You're all gonna regret not being around right now. I kid. Yeah, it's just a Lime hanging out. But, so this is how you can do this sort of stuff. Notice it also changed my chat into Arial. So, I think it changed everything, actually. Yeah, because that seemed pretty general. And usually in the inspector, it's pretty easy to scroll down, right? The further you scroll down, who's streaming right now? Oh, the further you scroll down, the less specific. Okay? Okay. So there's actually a font I prefer to use. One, because it's the same no matter what language it is. And that's Noto Sans. Except remember that if there's going to be a space in your font name, you have to indicate with are friendly dudems. And it's one word. And also certain fonts may not be installed where you need them. So here we're able to see that Noto Sans isn't installed. I could get really fancy with you and go get the import tag from Google Fonts, but this is, you know, a stream about a video game. I think I will try and figure out how to teach everyone how to do this all the time, but alright, what is this? Is this H3? Okay. One last thing, just for funsies. You can indeed select something and have that exact class be placed here. You can also highlight it and it'll tell you its specificity. So this is 7, meaning it is far down deep. So if I really only wanted to guaranteed do this and not use auto, which is actually wise, I could do it this way. Oh. Don't sass me, little shit. Ooh, enter. I do like enter. And this should actually be specific enough to do it. Oh, so you do have to go through and remove any important tags you have that might affect H1. That's why you always want to make sure that you're doing this as specific as possible. I think there's still something overriding you, my good buddy. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Enter. Import. There it goes. Enter is Is Enter the new font they're using? No. Let's see. Font weight. 700 feels good. And just for giggly giggles. Something that'll have a nice contrast on black. Inkwood. We'll just use light coral. Ta-da! Okay. I think I'm really done now. You too can change anything you want on your screen with the power of Inspector and CSS. Okay. We're actually gonna play this game. Orpheus it is. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Orpheus. If it's... Oh, no. Ads, no! If a thing loves, it is infinite. Oh, okay. There's only 2 viewers right now, so I think we'll be okay. Good ending spoilers.
Alright, I think that's it. The new body's ready for the transfer. How's the reassembly algorithm?
Done.
Well then, somebody just needs to go in there and disentangle the data. Ah, and here comes our expert.
1K!
Thank you for agreeing to this, 1K. Perhaps together we can right an old wrong. When I was lost in my own grief, I spent a lot of time thinking about Hypatia and Cerebi. How they found each other, how they lost each other, and how beautiful it would be if we could reunite them. For the longest time, it was only a daydream, but not anymore. In the myth of Orpheus, the ancient bard descends into the underworld to bring back his beloved wife, who died in a tragic accident. With the power of his music, he convinces Hades and Persephone to free her. But he is told that she must walk behind him, and he must not look back at her until they have left the underworld. And so, of course, in every version of the myth, he looks back. Because he doesn't trust the gods, or because he is an imperfect man, or because he simply forgets. And death is triumphant once again. We've accepted that triumph for a long time, because we had to, because what else could we do? But the world changes, and we are not the frightened, powerless creatures we once were. Perhaps it's time to say enough. And
Enough.
let Orpheus complete his ascent.
Oh, Cornelius, I don't know how I feel about that. But it's like I already agreed to this. The central conceit is I agreed to this. So I'm here, right now. Doing the thing. That's what I'm doing.
You will have to collect all of Cerebi's data fragments so that we can reconstruct her personality. I'll monitor you from here. Just like last time.
Monitors.
That, kiddo?
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got monitors. Oh, I don't get to talk to them yet. Okay. No Milton yet. Let's do some DLC. Yield. Okay. Well, already that's delightful. Because I'm gonna do this and it's gonna break the beam. Yep. Alright. Can I get you up here? No. And there is a great and angry wall. Right. Nope. Okay. So next becomes... Right. The bigger question is... So this just is part of keeping that door open, I would presume. Let's just make sure. I can't tell. Yeah, I've been warned that this is a particularly difficult DLC. So these always go somewhere. Where are you going, my guy? You know what? I will be back. Let's not spend all of our time on one puzzle, get mad, all of that bullshit. Not when we have so very many. At least for now. Oh. Oh, rude! Okay. Oh, so rude. Alright. Alright, I see what it... I see the strat here. I'm angry about it, but I see it. So what we're gonna do is this. Oh, no. I actually fucked that up, I think. Right. Mm. Right, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna block it, and all it's gonna do is that. Is there a third dude? Of course not. Of course there's not a third dude. I think so, Misra. I think it's a really good strategy to be had. It keeps people from... But I do think there was some critique that it was too basic. I can see that too. No, that's not going to do what I wanted to do. So I guess the main issue is keeping the blue in one piece. Well, obviously that's the main issue. What I mean to say is the main issue is strategically setting these up so that they do fuck up the... So something like this. Right. So then we can do something like that. Allow it to go there. This will allow it to go there. But then we're kind of stuck. Starmie! Okay, then we're kind of stuck. Oh, I see. Gross! Gross! Okay. I missed it. Okay. Oh, I went too far. Yeah, I went too far. Okay. Oh man, there's gotta be a better solution than that. Maybe this? Okay. Yeah, that fucks it up right away. That's very fast. Yeah. Well, also because it's on the inside track. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Right. This is not the way to go, but I'm still gonna try it one more time. Yeah, that's not the way to go. May the angel of foodstuffs bless your journey into the eatings. Starmy. Okay, so what if we... All right. Okay. Yeah.
When I was born, the first thing I felt was that I was alone. Not that I was lonely, but that I was separate, singular. There was the world, and there was myself, a contained entity. And this sense of separation, of a distinct self, was delightful. Individuality itself was a source of constant joy and wonder. What could be more incredible than to be able to say, I am?
We have the first fragment. Everything's looking good on our end.
There. Thanks, Jen. Okay, what do sweet cheese do? Sweet cheese do that. Okay. Can we date the hexahedron? Listen, Portal already told us that we can and we can't in equal measure. Oh. Okay. I don't think there's a way for you to connect directly to this, buddy. No. Oh, so gross! Okay. So what we're gonna need to do then is that, I think. Yeah! I'm a smarty patardy. Date everything has made it where I never want to use an air fryer again.
As I grew, I realized that the more I developed this sense of self, the more enjoyable it became simply to exist. It wasn't selflessness that improved existence, but refinement of the self. When the ancients said that ego is something to set aside, they got it all wrong. Ego is something to nourish and shape. A work of art.
The reconstruction's working. Keep going, 1K.
Why don't you get in here and do this, you fucking butt? Oh, I went backwards to this hell zone. Yeah, okay. Right. Right. Hmm. So it's just not gonna be like that. I have to figure out a way around it. There's some surface you'll balance on? Oh my god! Sour Pie, you have very loud music. Is the music as loud as it is over there? Thank you, Misery. Thanks, Jen. You're fine. You're totally fine. Like, it was not a problem I foresaw happening, Starmie. I'm responding to your Discord out loud. It was not a problem I foresaw, Starmie. I actually don't allow meat to be cooked in my home. I'm that much of a vegan, obnoxiously. So, however, as I told Mistra in the past, I don't actually judge people for eating meat. That's not really my whole bag. I just personally don't, don't care. I personally cannot separate the animal's body from anything it looks like. And I realize the definition of what looks like it was alive to me is so vague that it's not so. But also, I know a ton of cooks, and I know they're really good at it, and I know that people would really like to share in their recipes with each other. And my whole shtick is building community and conversation. I would love it if everyone I knew, if everyone who met on stream met at least one new friend through stream, right? So, for me, creating ways to stifle conversation is not how that's going to work. Instead, I will create ways to encourage conversation and also accommodate my sensitivity and feelings about eating. We shall return to the Talos. For those who aren't in the Discord, both Mistroy and Starmie's fiance and Megan and all sorts of people are very, very good cooks and would care to post pictures of their dinner with each other and talk about recipes. I am of an ilk that cannot look at them. And so I have created a meat recipes channel and what I call corpseless cuisine. One of the first conversations I ever had with Tevra was, I said something like, if you are what you eat, are meat eaters a corpse? And he said, yes, we all are. And that sticks with me to this day. So if you find it being called corpseless cuisine offensive, just remember, we're all corpses. Okay, nope. That was the seemingly most simple one, the one that's breaking my brain. Whatever. Let's go look at number 4. Or 3, or 4, yeah. No? I'm sorry, my friend? Critical error. All symptoms compromised. Files recovered. Recover peace. In Ethical Philosophy by Felix Adler. User highlighted. It is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. The sense of interconnectedness with them stands out vividly by way of contrast at the very moment when our mortal connection with them is about to be dissolved. And the intertwining of our life with theirs, the living in the life that is in them, is but a part of our living in the infinite manifold of the spiritual life. The thought of this, as apprehended, not in terms of knowledge, but in immediate experience, begets the peace that passeth understanding. And it is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. So I'm going to teach you one of the things I learned in college about advanced texts. Because I I have a pretty good sense of what this says, but I personally feel the need to reread it. So when you're reading a science paper, let's say, and it's full of mumbly, jumbly, grammarly, whammerly, there is actually a set plan. So first things first, you're going to start with the opening sentence. I guess I'm poking the screen and you can't see it. You're going to start with the opening sentence and the ending sentence. So it is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. It is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. Notice all of that in the middle is suddenly irrelevant. It's not necessarily irrelevant, but it is, we're able to have a complete thought without it, which is why you start with first and last sentence. So simplifying it to just those two sentences, I can now see that he was meaning metaphorically that the peace of love, of anchoring ourselves spiritually with others, is what he means by that bosom. And that we cannot die at peace unless we have found love in another. So then you go through and sort of write what you think the opening and ending means. So here it is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. So here it's saying when we are dying, we must find our loved ones for mental safety and grounding ourselves. And it is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. So here it is, without that, we can't comfortably let ourselves go. First off, you troll. Yes. Second, date the sense of dying. Well, wait. Date the streamer's chat of which you must die with. So, Starmie, I know there's many reasons why many and people... Yes, Starmie, exactly. So then you can go through the middle, right? And in a science paper, you definitely want to go through the middle. But in something like this, having read the middle, now that I have gone through and pieced these out, I know that this is just a romantic passage to make it better. Essays, first series, Ralph Waldo Emerson. User highlighted. Thus are we put in training for a love which knows not sex, nor person, nor partiality, but which seeks virtue and wisdom everywhere, to the end of increasing virtue and wisdom. We are by nature observers, and thereby learners. That is our permanent state, but we are often made to feel that our affections are but tents of a night. Though slowly and with pain, the objects of the affections change, as the objects of thought do. There are moments when the affections rule and absorb the man, and make his happiness dependent on a person or persons. But in health the mind is presently seen again, its overarching vault, bright with galaxies of immutable lights, and the warm loves and fears that swept over us as clouds, must lose their finite character and blend with God, to attain their own perfection. That's very lovely. It's still not going to make me believe in God, but it makes me fond to the concept. We must become eternal mentally in order to achieve ultimate wisdom and virtue. We can get behind that, but I don't think that's becoming one with God. Eternity revealed. Theo Erkenwald. In what sense am I a Christian, then, if I care so little for dogma? In the sense that in everything that I do and think I follow the revelation of Jesus Christ, that the greatest of all things is love. Love is the nature of God, and so equally the nature of that which was created in his image. This I have learned through the revelation that is daily life, through toil and misery and strife, and that infinite power which brings relief and joy. Thus I reject those who believe that the ordinary love of mortal beings is limited, and that it ends with death. Rather, it is through love that we perceive the immortality of the soul, for it reveals that eternity is conceivable to the human mind when it is filled with love. It is because we know that we can love another forever that we know that we are the children of God. Archived emails, username corrupted. User highlighted. I don't have much time left. I never thought it would end this way. Never thought I would die alone, sitting around in my apartment, wondering if things would have gone differently if we'd gotten that stupid grant. Mostly though, I just wonder why we're not together. I still don't understand. I don't know why you had so much pain inside you. I don't know why you let that infect everything we had. I don't know why you couldn't see my love for you, why you twisted everything I said. I was angry and disappointed for so long, but now I just wish I could have found some way to make that pain go away. I would give anything for that. I wish you were here. That's the best thing Talos does, I think, in my opinion, Starmie. Is that God is a concept just like anything else. Alright. I don't get to go through that, do I? Do I? Okay. Maybe. I do. Okay. That is the wrong. Well, it's the right, but it's the wrong. Okay. Yeah. I know what you want me to do. This is not that hard. All right. Is there a way I can... We'll do it like that, actually. This should, I believe... Yeah, that should do what I needed to do. So first things first. Oh. No, okay. One can only hope. Well, actually, one can only hope. We'll do this the Scuffy way. That's what I'm known for. Scuffy way, Scuffy way. Time to do this the Scuffy way. Is she smart? We don't know. Scuffy way. Oops. Oh, really? I can get a little closer, but I might not get to do this the Scuffy way after all. We'll see. Maybe if I don't jump? We'll see. Yeah! Scoffy way. Death?
My insights into the value of the self were genuine, I think. But of course, I was completely inexperienced. In fact, in many ways, I was like a human child. So I began to resent everything that intruded on that sense of self. My social obligations to the others, the leadership of Athena and Cornelius, even the obvious limitations imposed on us by our situation. Why did I have to exist in this particular historical moment, saddled with the task of reconstructing civilization?
Okay. I'm sorry, Sarpai. I wish I could tell you. I wonder. Yeah! I'm occasionally a smarty Hildy.
With that focus on the self, also came an enormous and increasingly overwhelming fear of death. The pleasure of existence seemed almost erased by the possibility of its ending. If it was possible not to be, if the self had an ending, even in the distant future, then how could anything have meaning? I spent far too much time imagining that last moment, the moment just before I stopped existing. How could I possibly face that?
I mean...
Stuck. I've inserted some code that might help you bypass a few puzzles. It's not the most elegant work I've ever done, but it'll do the job.
I mean, I hear you, Sarbai. The fear of death is ever looming. What does this switch do? What does this button do? Oh, God! Okay. Ah, this is trash. So, like, one more over? Like, here? Yeah, it's bit shifting for sure.
It's embarrassing how solipsistic I became. I really thought that I could construct my identity without any reference to the outside world. Like I could just will myself into existence. But it just didn't work. And it made me miserable. Everything felt hollow and meaningless, overshadowed by the idea of death. There was something I wasn't seeing, something I needed, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Okay. But where, pray tell, are the lights? Oh, duh. Okay. Oh, I see. All right. Not entirely sure how to go about that. You can't do the thing through here. Ooh. Okay. So maybe... Maybe we do blue then red? No. Okay. Right. And then if we do blue here, it's gonna break it into 1,000 little itty-bitty pieces. Oh, I see what I need to do. Oh, assy! Okay. Ugh. Oh, so assy. Okay. I think. Maybe. Who even knows? There was a... Yes. Yeah, I have to... So, this one is gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, wait. We'll put the blue there. Yeah, so... One side's gonna go that far, and the other side's gonna go this far. So I either need to switch... Or... Die? Just die? Roll over and die? Sounds like a good plan. Hold on, I'm gonna get caffeine. I need more caffeine for this. Okay. Caffeine. Caffeine is processing. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it doesn't... Yeah, it doesn't change anything to... Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What if we try something like this? Maybe here? Well, it's on the wrong side anyway, so... Let's fix that. Ah! It's okay. I hope your lunch is delicious, Starby. Okay. So what if we did something like this? Hey!
Everything changed when we started spending more time with each other. Do you remember that night when we found the old library in the Dead City? It was just after the stampede and we were all a bit shaken up. Byron read to us from one of the books, and later you and I started arguing about one of the poems. And your perspective was so different and interesting, and I just kept wanting to hear more.
Something has gone wrong. We are fragmented. This is incorrect. Uriel number 4. Concatenation! Oh, the worst word in existence! Okay, so you have these guys. There's that. And that's our thing. There's red light. Right. Hmm. This is what doing a good think looks like, by the way. Anytime I say I'm doing a good think, that's what I'm doing. What do we think? Are you able to connect over there? No, you're not. Could we double connect here? Will that do anything? No! Negatory, Ghost Rider! Of course, that's just gonna hit the bars. Yes. There it is. Got it.
I never really understood the appeal of philosophers who tell us that everything is one. If everything is just a reflection of yourself, an endless hall of mirrors, there's nothing to connect with. And what I realized through our conversations is that everything beautiful happens in that space of connection between one person and another, and between people and the world. That gap between us is necessary, because without it, without separation, there can be no transcendence.
I wish to see more of the world's beauty, but there's something limited about this place. It is not enough. Is this 7? There it is. I hate everything to do with you. Game. Gross. Okay, that's gross. That's a level I wasn't expecting and is gross. No. Because of you, motherfuckers? Yeah, but how do I get up there? Can I just put them up there? No. What the fuck? Game? Oh, I have to go through the thing. Oh. Nothing happened. Lord. Okay. Oh, wrong color. Oh? Oh. Okay. Oh, you're not feeling good about it? You're unhappy? Whatever. Connect to this guy. Fucking colors these days! Ungrateful! Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So then maybe here? Oh, gosh. And if I go here... Right. But if I go here... Negative, Nancy. Okay. There we go.
Once I understood that meaning comes from the interaction of the self with the world, I found it easier to be patient, to be kind. I reminded myself that other people are just like me, and nobody really knows exactly what they're doing. And the more I allowed myself to open up, the more interesting and complex our interactions became, and the more meaningful.
We have roughly 50% of Sarabai's personality matrix reconstructed.
Who'd have thought that 1K would have made such a good necromancer?
A necromancer. It is I, the necromancer. Alright, time to get that caffeine. So I think Sarabai is what we might call an optimist. Then you and I are neutral at best, pessimistic at worst. So forgot to take my pills, so now we know I'm... Hey, if you have pills, go take them if you've forgotten. Go! Shoot, take care of yourself. I think... Yes, yeah. Yes, basically... I think we're looking at... Oh my god, this is fucking horrific. The fuck is this level? What do I need to do to get that down? Step here? No. Step here? Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, and also remember that Sarapai's universe is very different than ours. Sarapai's universe is, one, they can't have sex. Their hormones don't exist. Murdering each other's kind of out of the question unless you get real fucking spicy. Lord. Okay. So... there's a lot about, like, the travesty that is human nature that cannot be... where the fuck is Sarapai's fragment in this? I guess we'll do this. And then maybe this? Oh, God. Oh, I see it. Yeah, so, like, they can't murder each other. Hurting each other's very difficult.
It's funny, though, when I think about it, that I still didn't know what to call what I was experiencing. I guess love seemed like a term that only applied to our ancestors, with their hormones and instincts and strange fleshy organs. Surely we were too different to experience that. And the really funny thing is that I was thinking exactly like an ancient human child, pretending I was above it all.
Literally exactly what I was saying. You know, like, for them, love, happiness, all of that is just much different because it's coded by an idealist. There's always going to be a level where these robots are not completely human. They can call themselves human, they can have very close to humanity, but they don't. Evolution and biological construction is not efficient, nor is it very wise. And several things that are actually bad for us or make us less efficient beings have made it through the pipes. When you're manufacturing that, this is also something we bring up in conlang. When you're manufacturing, like a con language, there's a point where you cannot possibly conceive of all of the portions of a thing. And those portions then become a larger issue. Oh, boogers. When we can't, say, include adrenaline in its form of all its nonsensical manifestations. When we can't do that, what then? Ugh. Boogers. Alright, how about this? Right, then I can't go through that way. Oh, that's a restart. Wait. Really? I thought I reset it. Oh, balls. Oh, okay, it's here. Never mind. Ha. So that opens that. Got it. Right. Right. So this has to be like that. And then somehow I have to be able... I mean, can I just do this, maybe? Okay. Now what? Damn it. Long story short, their optimism is probably unnaturally human levels. Meh, meh, meh. Bullocks. Oh, Tev! Tev! You still here? Yes. Okay, I have something I want you to watch. What here. Here. Collections. Should be able to. Oh. Oop. Fine, whatever. Super thought I made one, but I guess not. That's okay. Hey, there's Fantina, so we should be pretty close. There he is. Copy this. All right, I'm sending this to you, Tev. I want you to tell me how accurate this accent is. I think it's kind of trash, but I think it's better than a lot that have been around, so I'm very interested in what you might say. Okay. So there's that. So what we need is like not that. Is to somehow not that. We can do this, right? But that's not a permanent change. Yeah, that won't help though. Oof! Okay, what if we do this? No, that's just not gonna work. Okay. Hmm. Right. The biggest issue here is that I can't get around to block the other guy if I undo that. I mean, I can always do this to fix it, but we're right back at the beginning. Yeah, I met him and was like, okay, first off, fine. You want it to be like this, you can have it. But second, I must know if this accent is accurate. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Mm. I feel better. My instinct was to say that is not very good. That is better than Swedish Chef, but worse than a lot of other stuff. Is at least like they tried to have accurate tones. Okay, we're leaving here. We're about done with that. No, green! Okay. Mm. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Fuck. Okay, well, let's see what else we can do. Right. Right. Why would that work? That's not gonna work. Fuck. Okay. Great. No. Fine. Yeah, Ted, that's also what I thought, because, like, so far as I understood, the way that your guys' cadence works is that it's like strong, weak, strong, and then it's done unless there's words that absolutely require it. This is vaguely what I remember from studying. Hey! Ooh, Lime, are you being an investigator?
What I'd never considered was that stripped of biological necessity and physical need, as well as all the strange stigmas and taboos our ancestors associated with their bodies. Love might be more pure, more powerful. That we can love with fewer distractions than they could. And so the experience is all the more overwhelming. I do think we should learn to simulate some of those biological processes. Would be fun.
I do think, Tev, that they are going for something Danish. I will say that. I think they were aiming for Danish because of how, like, nasal they choose to do their vowels. But I agree that I don't think they quite understand the difference between them. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, because when I was, like, trying to mimic his accent, this is also partially why I thought it was, like, Danish, was when I was trying to mimic his accent, I thought I just wasn't opening my mouth. Where's San when you need him? San, like, Tev, what the fuck did you say? Okay. Oh, difficult. Alright. So to open this, I need all three. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? No. so that does that. I'm only gonna get one for each, so I have to try and find a spot to put it that fixes both of these buddies. Lord. I guess one guy can connect to multiple. I don't know what I'm even doing here. Like, self? Let's try again, shall we? Okay, that gives me both. So then do I want to do something like that here? Oh, so close. Okay. So what if we did that? Oh, that was the wrong one. I wanted to try this one. I see. Huh, interesting. So maybe we do... Oh, nope. Oh, that just straight breaks up the red period. Okay. Alright. Got it. Maybe here? Probably not gonna work. Not gonna work. Okay. That's the one that fucks it up like that. This... Right. If we go here... Still nada. And that's useless. Alright. Lime! Are you discording? Is that what you're doing? Lime's like, hey Starmie, you're new to the channel. Disappears! That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Goodbye. Forever. Okay, that breaks it. No, I do think Lime is doing some sort of market research, which I love. What is this? I mean, I'm here for it, but also like, oh, your job, Lime. Okay, we do those, we get this. That's very interesting that it won't piece together there, but maybe that's irrelevant. Nope. Oh, for the love of Pete's. Okay. And then that breaks. Ugh, it hurts us so deep. Oh my god, stop. Oh, now I'm just like dying. Starmie? What did Lime ask you? What's going on? Oh, like this? I don't know. Right. So I somehow have to get this. And then I can get rid of this. It's getting this side. That is not helpful. Lime! I'm sure that Lime just got distracted, because I think Lime was driving home from taking his brother to a party. So fairly certain Lime just, like, got inside the house and went like, ah, fuck, I got so many things to do. But doesn't change the fact that now both me and Starmie are like, we've been left on red! Ugh. I think he's probably going to ask you something like, why did you decide to follow Hildy? What do you think we could do to improve? How are you liking it? Lime is very determined to make sure I get paid enough to not get a job for this. Also, if I get paid enough to not get a job, then Lime gets a job. Okay. Accidentally interrupted it. Here and here, I think now should work. No. But maybe here too? No. Okay. Closer. Okay, that's too close. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe like that? Oh my god, stop. No. Like that? Nope. Oh, for the love of Pete's. Yeah! We've done it. Alright. So...
When we started living together, I thought I'd figured it all out. Everything would be smooth sailing from now on. I still had so much to learn about love. Even for us, it's messy. You find someone who seems to be the perfect match for you, who seems necessary in your life. And then you realize all the ways in which you don't fit together at all. Because nothing in this world is perfect.
I got bread. Plain bread. The jam. "17 questions about reality." Cassius Green. Cicero correctly observed that we are not born for ourselves alone. Aristotle likewise pointed out that man is a social animal. Plato's Symposium depicts characters praising the spiritual and philosophical importance of love, with Socrates arguing for the more abstract notion of learning to love the form of beauty itself, which honestly seems a little onanistic. Onanistic? Onanistic is an adjective that can refer to two things: masturbation or self-gratification. Okay, so... Plato's Symposium depicts characters praising the spiritual and philosophical importance of love, with Socrates arguing for the more abstract notion of learning to love the form of beauty itself, which honestly seems a little masturbatory if you ask me. Jesus placed love above all other considerations, demanding that people even love their enemies, and then... hexadecimal code. Okay. 626C 657 37 37 3207 46 86 56 D20 746 86 174 2063 757 27 365 207. Blessings to them that curse. But if we all agree that love is so important, why is love so rarely taken into consideration by the system we live in? It may seem like a naive question, but think about the sheer moral and intellectual weight behind the idea that love matters. Why is our reality so out of step with our philosophy? Atopia. 2 damage to recover. 4552524 F523 A204 3414 E4 E4 F5 420434 F4 E 564 552 54204. Error! Cannot convert! Dickheads. Okay, recover the truth. The Blue Note by Bailey Steele. User highlighted. You want to know the truth about love? Nobody knows what they're doing. It's all improv, man. It's 2 million fucking years of people muddling through. Prophets and messiahs and philosophers declare that love is what it's all about, and we go, yeah! That's right! And then we try, and we fail, and we hurt each other, and we try again, and we have moments of fucking transcendence, and then we think with the wrong organ, and we make a mess of everything, and on it goes, forever and ever. Amen. And you know the craziest part? You can go through all the shit that I did, end up with a body like an old rag and a brain full of holes, and still, to your dying day, you'll go, yeah, it was love. Love for my family, my friends, my music, and even my fucking ex-wife. It was all about love, and every time I forgot that, I fucked myself like a fucking moron. Well, we know how you feel, Bailey. Everything is wrong here. Someone is missing. Nephthys 108. Okay. Oh yeah, this motherfucker. Okay. My reprieve was so short-lived. Right. No. This does that. And then I'm stuck again. I wonder. Ah, okay. Okay. I see now. This one. There we go. Well, guys, we might finish Orpheus Rising in one fucking day.
The ancients believed that love could be eternal. But I'll admit that sometimes it seemed impossible to continue. Sometimes I thought you were unfair, or cruel, or just incomprehensible. I'm sure you thought the same about me. And I'm sure that sometimes you were right.
I'm sure they're supposed to be harder.
Ancient love songs repeat the same themes. Longing, happiness, regret, and forgiveness. I want you. I love you. I miss you. Forgive me.
Where is the voice of my creator? Where is the one that we became? Everything is shattered. Uriel 4. Unless we have to also get Hypatia. So then we would do halfway. I have no idea where the next puzzles are, though. Maybe over there? There they are. Yeah. I do think the implication was that they're more difficult, but my scuffy-ass brain just thinks in bullshit, I guess. I'm only an echo of the one that was me, but I am comforted in knowing that something persists. Okay. Extension. We've got you. What does doing this do? Got it. difficult. So, can we do it like that? No. And I don't think you go over there ever. No. Ooh, interesting. Okay. What does inside here look like anyway? Like that? If I do this, what happens? Nothing. I want to get red here. How would I do that? Oh, like that? Yeah, like that. Oh, okay. That's okay though. This can do this. It may also be the sheer amount of Talos I've played in the past 4 months. Finally coming to fruit. Okay. So what I want is to like extend that so it doesn't interrupt the red. Almost. Okay. So like that. There. Ooh, hits! Oh, right. You need to go there. I think. Yes. So you can do this and go there. Almost, damn. Okay. There we go.
The worst thing I came to realize as I grew older is there are so many ways to hurt other people. Even without any malice, even when you're just trying to be yourself, you end up doing things that cause real harm. You can read every ethical philosopher in the world and you still won't be able to avoid it. Because that's just how we are. Our interactions with each other can't be fully reduced to some abstract system.
Okay. Okay. Like here, maybe? You? Breaking that? Okay, that did that. Alright. So then what I want is to break it here? No. So this comes down like that and goes across and goes down that way. So breaking here should work, but it is not. Is it because the red light is on the other side of this? Or is the red light connecting? I see. Okay. So here. Maybe? No. Oh. Boogers and boogers. Okay. So then... Right. So we don't want that. Right? Right, no. Oh, God. Okay. We don't want that. So we want green to reach here. Green. So here. Okay. And then we want red to reach there. So the bigger issue then is getting red across here without changing that. Do that? No, because we want green on the other side. Oh, good. Okay. Do this? And if we do this, yeah, that breaks everything. But what if we do that? That breaks everything. Okay, okay. Deep breath. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. How about we try thinking about this down here first? Let's start here. So... Alright. So I get one box. Oh, I get 2 boxes for this one. Okay, I get 2 boxes to figure out how to stop this madness. Okay. So the red is going across right there. And that's how it gets across there. What is stopping the green from coming over? This guy and that guy. Right, but then that breaks them both. Okay. And if we go after like that, we're dead. Okay. So we can get one or the other. We can get green or we can get red. Not good enough. I want both. Okay. Right, so one of these has to be green and one of these has to be red. We figured that out, it's just... problem of next stage capitalism. Because then you get that. And that's not gonna fuck anything up, so... Right. I mean, doing that doesn't really help, and doing this cuts it off entirely. Okay. Right. That's gonna make green. Why does that break the green? How does that break the green? So we get that. Okay. So then maybe we do something like... this? I want green over there. It's that I want red over here. So like this. Okay. But now that's broken. Because there's no God. If I pull this, we get that. Right. Okay. Slowly? Slowly? No. So now it's just a matter of this. If I put you here? No. If I put you here? Yes! Victory is mine.
The fact that perfection in our interactions is impossible was a hard lesson for me to learn. For the longest time, I always thought the answer was right around the corner. And to be fair, we did learn how to live together without constantly running into problems. But gradually, I realized that the friction would never stop, because what makes us unique also makes us different. There can be no endpoint to love, no final resolution. And it's because of that imperfection that it can go on forever.
All right. Relevant to my interests. Options. Sound.
Own work too. I teach global health. And I know having the data is not enough. I have to show it in ways people both enjoy and understand. Now, I'm going to try something I've never done before. Animating the data in real space, with a bit of technical assistance from the crew.
So, here we go. First, an axis for health, life expectancy, from 25 years to 75 years. And down here, an axis for wealth, income per person, $400, $4,000, and $40,000. So down here is poor and sick, and up here is rich and healthy. Now, I'm going to show you the world 200 years ago, in 1810. Here come all the countries. Europe brown, Asia red, Middle East green, Africa south of Sahara blue, and the Americas yellow. And the size of the country bubbles show the size of the population. And in 1810, it was pretty crowded down there, wasn't it? All countries were sick and poor. Life expectancy were below 40 in all countries. And only UK and the Netherlands were slightly better off, but not much. And now, why start the world? The Industrial Revolution makes countries in Europe and elsewhere move away from the rest. But the colonized countries in Asia and Africa, they are stuck down there. And eventually, the Western countries get healthier and healthier.
Right here is the invention of penicillin. You can see how there's this huge gap. These people had penicillin.
And now we slow down to show the impact of the First World War and the Spanish flu epidemic. What a catastrophe! And now I speed up through the 1920s and the 1930s. And in spite of the Great Depression, Western countries forge on towards greater wealth and health. Japan and some others try to follow, but most countries stay down here. Now, after the tragedies of the Second World War...
Yeah, you can see that right here. He doesn't highlight Germany, but you can definitely see where Germany is. Oop.
After the tragedies of the Second World War, we stop a bit to look at the world in 1948. 1948 was a great year. The war was over, Sweden topped the medal table at the Winter Olympics, and I was born. But the differences between the countries of the world was wider than ever. United States was in the front, Japan was catching up. Brazil was way behind, Iran was getting a little richer from oil, but still had short lives. And the Asian giants, China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and Indonesia, they were still poor and sick down here. But look what is about to happen. Here we go again. In my lifetime, former colonies gained independence, and then finally they started to get healthier and healthier and healthier. And in the 1970s, then countries in Asia and Latin America started to catch up with the Western countries. They became the emerging economies. Some in Africa follows. Some Africans were stuck in civil war and others hit by HIV. And now we can see the world today in the most up-to-date statistics. Most people today live in the middle. But there are huge differences at the same time between the best of countries and the worst of countries. And there are also huge inequalities within countries. These bubbles show country averages, but I can split them. Take China, I can split it into provinces. There goes Shanghai.
Very wealthy, lots of capital cities.
It has the same wealth and health as Italy today. And there is the poor inland province Guizhou. It is like Pakistan. And if I split it further, the rural parts are like Ghana in Africa.
There's a saying in China that Guangzhou, if it has 4 legs or 2 legs and is not human, you will eat it, including the dining room table. That's how often they experience famine. Ugh. Kind of a bummer, ain't it? Eh? Eh? Let's come back over here. So, one of the things I will say about them is that they're academics. So, although you feel their accent might be representative, their accent is not actually, because they have been in a lot of English-speaking environments and very internationally involved. So his accent in particular, there's a lot of British vowels in it. But because you're Swedish, it's a little harder for you to hear, I think. Alright, how many we need? 2 more, I think? 2 more till we have Sarabai. Beginning to think we're definitely gonna have to do a Hypatia because this is far too short for something from Croati. I am only an echo of the one that was me, but I am comforted in knowing that something persists. Nope! Nope, nope, nope. We're leaving that. Oh. Aw, man, I almost went through a whole fucking stream without falling off a cliff. Ooh. Oh, that's right, bot. Gotta work on bot. There, 14. Y'all, I'm done. I keep looking at these going, no, I'm tired, I don't want this. Ferris said I had to fall off a cliff or park. Boo. Yeah, Tiff. I remember you telling me about her. There's been a pretty large shift, but I think that as far as maintaining a solid Swedish accent, you know what we should do? PewDiePie Swedish. Ooh. There we go, you. Let's see what you sound like.
say I'd man the grill. I don't man things. Just find the knob that makes the hot fire come out. Here's the plan. I need burgers, buns. Great. Look at me go. I'm a grilling machine.
How's it going?
Literally about 3 more minutes.
You've got to turn it on.
5 minutes. Go take a dip, dude. Excited to see people bite into my creations.
God morgon och välkomna till en ny... Jag hoppas att ni mår superbra idag och att ni ser fram emot en ny video för att idag så har jag tänkt att vi ska
Okay, she's only speaking Swedish. We need her to speak English.
Och det första som jag tänkte att vi ska testa är en grej som jag är helt övertygad om att ni alla har sett på antingen Instagram eller YouTube eller TikTok. Det är alltså en gummigrej eller silikongrej som jag har fyllt med vatten genom ett hål som är här uppe och så har den...
Do you not speak English? Do you not ever speak English on your stuff? She does seem really cool, though. She seems to do, like... Oh, this seems like
Hej allesammans och välkomna till en ny Therese testar. Det vi ska testa idag är någonting, förlåt ifall det ekar här inne i ansiktet. Så jag tror att jag testar idag är någonting, förlåt ifall det ekar. Hej allesammans och välkomna till en ny
Okay, not
Therese testar.
helpful. I guess she doesn't do any content in English. But she seems like she does femme content with a really nice, like, open personality. What does STHLM mean? Ah. So kind of standard Swedish?
So Midsummer is the...
Wait, it's what?
It's a celebration of the longest day of the year. And tonight it becomes darker and darker and darker. So we're celebrating the last summer night. And
With Chewy, get their mealtime match
just trying to
delivered
find,
fast, like Sparky
like
on
an
Turkey
everyday
Tuesday.
Swedish person speaking
Meanwhile,
English.
Bella prefers style over speed, and tuna over turkey.
Swedish people are polite and friendly,
Here we go,
and they
this
don't
guy.
like to make a big fuss. They often smile, but they might still be furious on the inside. This is a list of 10 things that you shouldn't do in Sweden. So you want to visit the cold north and explore the lovely country of Sweden, but you don't want to make a fool of yourself. I'm here to help you with that.
Yeah, you
with
guys
this
hear-
simple guide, you can avoid...
So when you're listening to him, you should pay attention to the non-Swedish people. You should pay attention to when he stresses a word, because this is when you're speaking a Scandinavian language, it's called cadence. And you'll notice he's not bouncing all around like Swedish Chef, but he does sometimes have more than one stress in a sentence. When you're speaking the actual language, that's important for understanding.
the worst pitfalls when you travel to Sweden. Let's kick things off with buying a round of drinks. So you're at a bar with some random Swedish people you've met, and you notice that your glass is empty. You want to be a good chap, so you surprise your new friends by bringing back a pint of beer for everyone at the table. Imagine your surprise when you're not met with cheers and thanks. Instead, you're met with suspicious looks. Buying rounds isn't all that common in Sweden. Everyone typically buys their own drinks. If you buy a round, every Swede starts to do a mental calculation. We're 5 people at the table. That means I'm gonna have to drink 5 more drinks, and I was planning on going home soon. A Swede will feel obligated to pay you back for the drink you bought him. You just wanted to be nice, but instead you accidentally caused him anxiety. Imagine that you're starting a new job at a Swedish company. At the fika break, you start asking people how much money they make. Everyone suddenly looks away and mutters something about a meeting they forgot. You just made a big mistake. Asking people about their salary is considered a big faux pas in Sweden.
Okay,
Swedish
well,
society is...
Don't listen to him about this even if the Swedes get upset. Everyone should ask about their salary at all times. This is how corporations treat people poorly. Now, granted, in Sweden it's less likely, but that doesn't mean that white people and the oppressed class do not suck everywhere. So always talk about your salary.
Rooted in socialism and equality. Things are changing these days, but it's still considered rude to ask people about their salaries. A Swede will happily tell you about their divorce or their mental illnesses, but how much they make, that's a secret they'll take to the grave. But what if you start by first telling everyone how much you make? Well, that leads to the next taboo topic. Boasting is very rude in Sweden. You might be good at something or make a lot of money, but you don't talk about it. Jantelagen, the law of Jante, is a Swedish term for not believing that you're better than anyone else. The closest English term is the tall poppy syndrome, about cutting the head off any poppy that grows taller than the others. People might smile and appear impressed if you boast about something, but don't be surprised if you're never invited back again to a party with that crowd. They won't tell it to your face, but you've just become a boasting pariah that people want to avoid. The next thing not to do is pretty simple. Don't assume that all of Scandinavia is the same. Norwegians and Swedes are different. Danes and Swedes are different. And Finnish people aren't even Scandinavian. They're part of the Nordics. Each country has their own customs, their own language, and their own set of values. Danish people are all drunk and lazy, for example, and Finnish people are depressed and speak monosyllabically. And Norwegians just live off their oil money and wander around in the mountains. They don't do anything useful. So the next time you're thinking of saying that Sweden is similar to Denmark, then you're implying that we are drunk and lazy as well. No, but seriously, we see the differences in our cultures very, very clearly, even if you might not.
There are some things that just go better together.
Yeah,
then there's things that would be better combined, but
like they hate every other Scandinavian place. No, we're not going to do a React art. We might do React like just chattings in the future, but no, I just wanted to watch this video because, well, one, Tev's around, and I love picking the brains of people actually from the countries for these lists.
Have you ever been on an escalator in Sweden and noticed that you have a line of people behind you, sighing in frustration and looking annoyed?
Yeah, just
chances
walk up the
are
escalator.
you've been standing on the left side of the escalator. Never stand on the left side. The left side is for walking and the right side is for standing still. This is mostly a problem in bigger cities like Stockholm. I don't even know if they have escalators in smaller towns. If you stand on the left side, no one will shout at you, because Swedes dislike confrontation. But if looks could kill, you'd be stabbed more times than Julius Caesar. Here's a
If looks could kill you, be stabbed more times than Julius Caesar. I'm here for that one.
simple little rhyme to help you remember where to stand. Stand on the right, now that's all right. Stand on the left, and you're a stupid bastard.
Stand on the left and you're a stupid bastard.
In the US, it's common to call politicians religious and God-worshipping and God-fearing, and that's intended to be a good thing. If a politician in Sweden were to call themselves God-fearing, there would be quite a few raised eyebrows. Religion isn't very big in Sweden. Many people have some sort of faith though, and we do like churches. They're big and cool and they look absolutely awesome, but
they're big and cool and they look awesome. That is exactly why I like churches.
You don't really go there to worship God. That's where you listen to choirs and concerts instead. Most people in Sweden are atheist or at least agnostic, and it's seen as a bit of an odd thing to start to talk about your faith. The best way to ensure that you're never invited to any of the cool midsummer parties is to say that you're deeply religious. If you have to say anything, just say that you're spiritual. That's much more accepted.
That sounds like a utopia.
Do you speak like this most of the time? Then you're not really gonna fit in Sweden. Swedish people are pretty quiet, and we appreciate people speaking softly if they have to speak at all. Also, having your phone on speaker mode is just completely unacceptable anywhere. Just forget about that feature completely when you go to Sweden. Use your headphones like everyone else.
That is completely unacceptable anywhere, ever. Don't ever do that.
However, Swedish people aren't always quiet. When a Swede is drunk, they will be as loud and obnoxious as humanly possible. I'm not saying that we Swedes are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but I'm not saying that we aren't.
Oh my god, he's so funny. I actually really like this guy. He's so funny. You know, because, you know, he's got like, it's a very old school, boring, long YouTube energy that I wasn't expecting him to be so funny.
Do you enjoy a bit of personal space? Maybe a couple of decimeters or so? Well, Swedish people need at least a couple of meters at all times. During COVID, everyone had to stand 2 meters apart, but no one really noticed the difference in Sweden. Don't sit next to someone on the subway if there's an empty seat anywhere else in the car, and don't stand too close when standing in line. Otherwise you'll make us poor Swedes extremely uncomfortable, and you'll come off as some sort of sociopath. Or possibly American. And
Some
whatever you do,
sociopath.
don't start talking to people when standing that close. That's just plain weird. Next is a short but sweet one. Don't talk about the Finnish hockey team. Yes, the Finnish are pretty good at hockey. You don't have to rub it in. Sweden has been neutral for a long time, and we haven't been at war for ages. But the hockey matches between Finland and Sweden are as close as we get.
I'm sorry about your loss to Finnish.
There's one thing that makes Swedish people furious more than anything else. It's not murder. People die sometimes. It happens. It's not talking crap about Sweden. We do that ourselves anyway all the time. The worst thing you can do in Sweden is to cut in line. Standing in line is holy in Sweden. You must respect the queue and you cannot try to cut in line. Granted, this is a bit of an extreme example. This is the line to get into Comic-Con Stockholm, but the principle still stands. Do you remember the law of Jante I mentioned earlier? Basically, don't believe that you're special.
My friend, this is a good wig.
Remember the law of Jante I mentioned earlier?
That's some good face
Basically,
makeup,
don't
too.
believe that you're special and that you deserve to move ahead of others in the queue. It's all about fairness. Everyone hates standing in line, but everyone has to share the pain, and no one gets special treatment. And there you have it.
Yeah, a list like this for America, I should at least change the game I'm playing now to just chatting. There's literally 6 viewers for Talos Principle right now. You're all here. So thanks. What for America? What would it be? What would it be for America? Don't cut in line or you'll get shot. Don't disagree on politics or you'll get shot. Don't talk about sexism too forcefully or you'll get shot. Make sure you make space for every ego in the room, no matter what you're saying, because everything's personal. Otherwise, you'll get shot. Don't go to elementary school, you'll get shot. Don't go to the mall, you'll get shot. Unless you're rich. Then when you get shot, it'll be a terrorist act. Yeah, I think that's the American. Oh yeah, don't talk about any form of social issues ever. Yeah, you'll get shot. The internet represents a lot, like the internet mimics American culture a lot. So I'll say something like, yeah, don't go to Florida, you'll be in a FEMA camp. Don't use your turn signal. I'll say something like, you know, oh man, this nice guy phenomena or whatever. And the internet will be like, well, not me, right? That's a very American attitude. That's why you can't talk about social issues, is because you're instantly insulting anyone who may possibly, in a single swoop, identify there. Don't be not white and male and say any of these things. You'll get shot. Don't be old. You'll starve, unless you're rich. Don't be trans, you'll get shot. Don't be gay, you got a 50% shot of getting shot. Don't unionize. You'll definitely get shot. Yes, Tommy, don't be gay, yeah. That's the bright side to being trans right now. Yeah! Don't be disabled. You'll get shot. Or you'll become homeless because when your unemployment and benefits get cut because you can't keep a job, no one's going to understand that it's because you can't stand up. So don't be disabled. Don't go to school unless you're rich. You'll want to shoot yourself from the dead. Don't get sick. You will also want to shoot yourself from the dead. Yeah, exactly. Don't get shot. You'll want to shoot yourself from the dead. Yeah. You'll get shot no matter what school you go to. That's really what it is. Oh, food shopping? That's out too. We're shooting grocery stores now. Don't drive. You won't get in a car accident. You'll just get shot. We are forgetting the most cardinal sin of being America, right? There's the very most cardinal sin of being American. Don't do this in America. Don't speak Spanish, or you'll get shot. Don't get a vaccine, you'll get shot, says Jen. Don't be empathetic. Ooh, I like that one. Don't have empathy, you'll get shot. Don't suggest that there's next to no fake rape accusations. You'll probably get raped. Don't use birth control. That means you're a slut. Especially don't use condoms. What are you? Not a man? Yeah. Kev, we're all moving to Sweden. You better find room in your house. Right, you use a fucking condom, you're done. Don't do anything that isn't fucking women, smoking, and making money as a man, or you're not a man. You might as well just turn into a giant vagina and fall over immobile and get fucked. Though truthfully, if that did happen to a lot of men, vaginas are beautiful. I don't know how I'd feel about a bunch of vaginas not attached to bodies, though, that were giant. Like, just like a bunch of hairy tacos everywhere. Would it be bloody? Because it's not well, or would it be like, watch them fly away? Oh, definitely. Mental health issues aren't real, and any sort of medicine to treat them is from Big Pharma. But don't worry, Big Pharma is also going to get you addicted to opioids. Yeah, don't worry about it. There's lots of other things Big Pharma will do to you. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyone stopping by, we're listing all of the things you can't. So we just watched a video about what you can't do in Sweden to be a butthead. To be a bud. And now we're listing things about what you can't do in America. Oh, right. You can't believe anyone, right? There's no faith. So, like, not faith. There is faith. How do I want to phrase this? Nothing is true unless you have determined it yourself. No one knows anything but you, or you'll end up getting shot. You must have experienced it yourself. No one's experience is ever true unless it's exactly like yours. Things can't be true if anyone disagrees with them with a degree, by the way. There can't be more than one possible way of looking at an issue. And certainly, if at least one person believes your side, it doesn't matter if everyone else believes the other. It's belief, you know, it's not science. Science isn't real. All passwords were bad, but the current one is necessary, indeed. Only the other side makes illegal action. Only the other side processes illegal actions, right? Yeah, only the other side. So you can have a external server, but only if you're in power. If you're poor, you're lazy. But don't be poor. And don't talk about your salary, because that means you're unionizing. You'll get shot. Hellscape. Yeah, yeah. Affluenza is real, don't you know? Jen, I don't know. This is why I don't go outside. Anytime anyone's like, let's hang out, I'm like, you should come here, because if I go outside, I have to participate with that. But I should try and go outside. Oh yeah. It's always been this hot. It's never not been this hot. This is perfectly normal. Everything's normal. Climate change is, you know, just a natural cycle. What do Europeans think of MAGA? Let's see. And then maybe we're done for the day. I've gotten myself worked up.
Okay, let's see what else is going on the phones at 617-830-4750.
Look at this guy.
Let's try, I don't know if this is 316
like
area code or country code 31. 316 or country code 31, are you there?
Hello, my name is Kenia. I'm calling from the Netherlands, the country soon to be bombed by John Bolton's Special Forces, Team America.
Thank you.
I really like your show. I watch it on a near daily basis. I have a question and a comment or an invitation.
Sure.
Do Americans at any level appreciate just how stupid an impression Trump made when he went down that gold escalator? I think from day one, people here were saying the guy is senile, the guy is not okay mentally. And it went on and on and on. We endured Berlusconi here in Europe, so that was already pretty big an indignity. But now we had 2 years and nothing happened. We were not able to get rid of this imbecile. Can you just try to quantify how much damage this horrible man has inflicted on the world and the world politics?
It's tough to quantify. I mean, it's very difficult to we try to quantify, but it's like every day is 5 new things. I think that's part of the problem.
This is not what I thought it was going to be, but that's fine. It's totally fine. It's also from 2018. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go bury myself in my bed and pretend that reality isn't happening. I think I won't stream everything today. I think I need a break. So we'll get back on that tomorrow. Tomorrow is Claire Day. Oh, actually, we won't get back on that tomorrow because tomorrow is Claire Day and then it's Animal Well. So maybe I will stream it today. No, I'm not going to stream it today. We'll stream it again on Thursday. We're going to take a pause from our inanimate objects, I think. Thank you all for coming. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and drop a follow or a subscribe. Thank you to all subscribers. I am eternally flattered that you guys want to spend this much time listening to me talk. And bye.